Rose gold, yeah, yeah. White sand, yeah, yeah. Ball, yeah. Gang, gang, yeah. My bitch bad, yeah. Rose gold got my bands up, yeah.
Yes, it is the time that you have all been waiting for. You guys, I don't have to introduce this guy. I mean, I'm going to introduce myself so you guys know who I am. All right? You guys know me from NyynewsTV. I don't even have to introduce this guy. There's no point.
Man,
what's going
this
on,
is
man?
the Bad Diggity Dizzle. And I think the internet might break when this one is over, Pete.
I'm telling you, man. You know, the great thing is, the Yankees knew that we had this plan because they said, you know what, guys, go out there, play a little better, get a little bit of a lead because we don't need to hear this rant of these two guys together. I promise you guys, we are likely going to have a rant together one day.
One day.
I don't know if this is the one, though. The Yankees are you know, they're looking pretty okay right now, division-wise. Team-wise, they still got their problems. But division-wise, getting a little comfort here.
A little bit. Little bit of breathing room. That was a huge series against Tampa. And I got to tell you something. This stupid lineup of Judge and Stanton. How this worked is beyond me. But I'm going to tell you something, Pete. I don't know what the lineup is looking like. Do they play tonight? I don't even know if they're off tonight.
No, they're off tonight.
They're off tonight. So tomorrow, I don't know what the lineup's going to look like, but it better be the damn same.
This time, it might just be. It might just be this time because the good thing is Stanton is starting to find that home run stroke.
Yep.
The timing is starting to get there.
Yep.
And that's good news for the Yankees. But let's start right there. Let's start where the Yankees are currently. The first thing that I want to ask you about, because I had an interview a little earlier today, and I'll just give you a spoiler alert on where I am. I think the Yankees are going to win the division. I think right now they're in the clear to do that. What are your thoughts on them winning the AL East?
I think that this series winning 2 out of 3 from Tampa was paramount for them. I don't think if they would have got swept, they would have lost the division. I think if they would have lost 2 out of 3, they might have lost the division.
Yeah.
But the way the first game started, it looked like they were going on that path.
Yep.
And then, they have a big 6-run inning on Saturday. They scored 10 runs or 8 runs in the first 2 innings on Sunday. The bats woke up. Now, this is the Yankees, right? We know this, Pete.
Yeah.
And everybody watching, you know this. They're a home run or nothing club. I mean, They score more than half their runs on homers. So when they're hitting homers, they look unbeatable. Even when Gleyber Torres is hitting 2 homers, you know things are going good. But at the snap of a finger, you know that they can get shut down because when they don't hit homers, they don't look good.
Yeah.
But I do think they've done enough. I think that 3-game series was huge for them to win that series. They have a 5.5-game lead. They better be able to hold them off. I think they will.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, with the way things are going right now, they obviously got the reinforcements coming back of some guys. The main thing is these guys hitting, right? Gleyber Torres, Gleyber is ass, has really been, I mean, he's been horrible all year. It's funny because a lot of people in the chat, they remember that your son said booty cakes.
Booty cakes.
So a lot of times they'll write it in. They say, Pete, you mean he's booty cakes? And I'm like, yeah, that's right, booty cakes.
Booty cakes.
Booty cakes. No doubt about it. So, Gleyber, a lot of this year, has joined the booty cake brigade that has to do with
booty cake
Aaron
brigade.
Hicks and a few other people on the Yankees that you and I have both, went off on multiple times this year.
Yeah.
But the good thing is, we're seeing some productivity from these young guys finally, right? Oswaldo Cabrera hits his first home run the other day, but he's starting to hit more. He's been one of the best defensive outfielders in right field.
Yep.
And the crazy thing about that is he didn't play there a lot in the minor leagues.
Right. They played him all over. And he's a smart defender. He's been able to do everything. He chased the ball down, throws guys out. He's got good range no matter where they put him. And, that's why I think he was able to stay up at the majors. I'm glad they didn't dump him when he was like 0 for 20 or whatever. He was in that bad hitless streak.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to give these kids a chance to get their feet underneath them because if you're benching them after 2 games and they have no kind of rhythm and no kind of timing, of course they're going to struggle. So I was glad that they stuck with him, but I think his ability to play so many positions in the field and play them well definitely kept him in the lineup. But it was nice to see him in a homer because when he first came up, he missed by like 2 inches a couple of times.
Yeah, a couple of times.
But seeing the life that these young guys bring up that we've been screaming for, not just you and I, but the Yankee fan base. We're the young kids we keep hearing about,
it's funny. I said that today when I had an interview. I said the craziest thing is about when the Yankees were playing bad and we witnessed these horrible lineups. And we're all sitting there saying, why are these young guys not up here? What are we doing?
Yeah.
They're in AAA. They're not an A-ball.
Right.
Like, we're not asking for them to do some sort of miracle or
right. We're not asking Jason Dominguez to come up.
Exactly. We're not saying, this guy, the Spencer Jones kid just got traded. Hey, bring him up. Why not?
Right.
We're not saying nothing out of the ordinary. Like, this is, that's not going to happen. We were simply at that time, and for somebody like me, and you call a lot of games, but, I'm calling every single game, and I'm watching these lineups every day, and I'm saying, oh, this team is so boring.
Oh, God.
This team is so boring.
Yep.
And I remember sometimes I said, guys, man, I always made it through, but I always joke around. I'm like, this might be the day I cut it short. This is bad to watch. And the whole Yankee world collectively, the apologists, everybody was sitting there saying, enough is enough. Call these guys up.
Yep.
And then you have the start of it. They're going to call Florial up and Cabrera. Cool. Then it comes to finally, Aaron Boone, by the way, forced that because I don't care what anybody says. The Yankees had no intentions of calling the Peraza. He made himself look like an ass.
Yep.
All over the news. And I think somebody said, whoa, enough. Because what people don't understand, but you got to put two and two together when it comes to the Peraza situation. He played that day. The Yankees were off that day traveling to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
He played that day in AAA. He homers. Boone does another interview. And then they're like, no, get him up here.
Yep.
Send him out. Get him out the game and send him out.
Yep.
That wasn't a premeditated move. That was an on-the-spot, get this kid up here.
It had to be because he wasn't in the lineup the day they called him up.
That's right.
He wasn't in the lineup. Like, why did we just call him up if he's not in the lineup? What the hell are we doing?
And here's the thing that I'll bring up about Peraza. We talked about Cabrera and how, well he's kind of, fit in. And he could play really anywhere.
Yep.
Now, we've also seen the IQ, I think, has really shown for Oswaldo Peraza. We've all seen how smooth he is at shortstop.
Yep.
Made a lot of nice plays already. You can see he can hit. You can see he has all the tools. Everything's there.
Yes.
But why do the Yankees, and I want to ask you this question. He's the number 2 ranked prospect. Majority, he's either 2 or 3 behind Dominguez or ahead of Dominguez, and of course behind Anthony Volpe.
Yep.
Why do the Yankees feel it's a good idea to call this kid up and not have him start in the majority of the time when he is your top prospect?
Yeah, it's a weird situation. I don't know what the hell the front office does. They've obviously been confused for years because we can't win a damn World Series, can't even get there. And the prospects never develop. We've had one prospect develop in the last 10 years. It's Aaron Judge. He's a pretty good ball player.
Yeah.
That's about it, though. Everybody else either gets buried in the minors behind bad contracts like Aaron Hicks,
injured,
or they trade him away.
Or traded, yeah.
They never get an opportunity. The only thing I can think of is I know in 95, they called Jeter up. He didn't play. He played very little.
Yeah.
But it was pretty much to get him acclimated to the field, the travel, the team of Major League. That's the only thing that I can envision, Pete. But I'll be honest, I don't think the guys in the front office are smart enough to think about that stuff because Cashman wasn't the GM in 95 when they brought Jeter up.
Right.
So I don't know if that's why. It just doesn't make sense because if you're bringing up a young ball player, you need them to play every day because you want to continue to develop them. You certainly want to let them see Major League pitching. And if you're not going to play them, just keep them down in the minors and let them continue to develop. So it doesn't make sense. That's why when he was out of the line, I'm like, what the hell do we call him up here for? Take a roster spot if he ain't going to play. What is the point of that? You call him up to play him. And
that's another reason why I feel like it was to alleviate the fan base's anger.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Aaron Boone was getting blasted.
And he should be. For
the comments he made. I mean, they were ridiculous. And I spoke about that too.
The IKF.
Somebody came at me and they said, well, Pete, what do you expect him to say? I said, here, I'll give you an answer. You ready for this? I'm not a manager, but here's an answer for you.
Yeah.
I think, me being Aaron Boone, I believe IKF is one of the better defensive shortstops in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Do I believe he should have made those plays? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I think he would tell you the same thing. That is, again, holding somebody accountable, but not throwing them under the bus. You're not saying nothing wrong there. So I think when he came out there and he talked to Boomer and Carton, I think it was, and a few other people, Michael K. Show, and he started to get pushback about it. I was like, hey, just so you know, you are aware that people watch these games every day. Mm-hmm. And this guy is not the shortstop you guys promised him to be.
Yep.
And you do got this kid knocking down the door. You guys are telling us we didn't get Correa, we didn't get Simeon, we didn't get Seager because these guys are there.
Right.
Well, if that's the case, I would like to see them.
Yep.
That's all. I like to see them up here.
Yeah.
So with IKF looking like he's so much better at third base, the couple of games he played there, he looked good. He looked much better. He looked more comfortable too. So I just kind of find it odd that even if you're not playing Peraza every day, you could get him in there every other day. You got 3 positions to play around with to move guys around. You could play them.
Yep. Or you could DH a guy too.
And DH a guy, and they haven't really done that. So I just don't want to. And I think you brought up a very valid point that maybe they're just saying, hey, look, we'll get you in some games, but we really want you to understand what it's going to be like when you're here. Mm-hmm. So you're getting a head start on that aspect of it,
right?
Which is a big aspect of it. It is a big part of the game.
It is.
So
again, I don't know if they're that smart, but that's what
right.
they do with Jeter.
We're giving the Yankees a little bit of credit here. Okay.
Yeah. Once in a while, I'll give them a little credit.
Did you pay attention at all to Derek Jeter's comments at the Derek Jeter Day?
I did not. What was I don't remember what I was doing Friday. Oh, with that game, I think I was listening to the game while I was at the gym. I was at the gym in the beginning of it. So I think I was listening to the game. So I did not see Jeter's. I have not watched it yet, if you can believe that. I have to go back and watch it. I'm sure I can find it somewhere, but I did not hear his comments.
So the reason why I bring it up, Jeter kind of left the door open that he's going to be seeing much more of the Yankee fans very soon.
Gotcha.
And rumors are starting to circulate already that people think there's a possibility, a very small possibility maybe, that Jeter may take over as the GM role on the Yankees. That could start as soon as next year.
Right.
My question to you is, maybe I want to see if you share in the same mindset as I do. If we were Hal Steinbrenner, which of course we're not.
Right.
Things would be a lot different. Things would be a lot different around here.
Yeah.
But my understanding of this idea is, would this be a smart move for Steinbrenner? What do you think?
Man, see, this is the thing. I don't know how good of a GM Jeter would be. Like, I don't know what his qualifications are as a GM. Just because you're a great player don't make you a great GM. I mean,
correct.
Listen, just because you're a great player don't make you a great manager. Ted Williams was the greatest hitter ever. Horrible manager.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, same thing with hitting coaches, man, because a lot of times a hitting coach, if they're a really good hitter, they expect other guys to hit as well as they did.
Right.
Sometimes it's not possible. So you get guys that aren't great hitting coaches. It's a little bit different. But like Tony Gwynn being a hitting coach, it'd be great to learn from Tony Gwynn, but guys can't be Tony Gwynn.
Exactly.
There's only one Tony Gwynn. So it'd be nice. Like, the fans would love it. And it would be great for the fans to say, oh, Jeter's part of the organization again. But that kind of be like for us Giants fans. And the reason I'm wearing my Giants hat is I just got out of work. That's why I didn't prepare with the Yankee stuff. But
they got a W. It's okay.
They get a W. I'm going to enjoy it, baby. We don't get many W's over here with the Giants. But that's like saying bring Eli Manning back as the general manager of the Giants, just because he was a legendary Giant. So I don't know what Jeter's qualifications are. I know he's part owner with the Miami Marlins, and obviously they traded away. They had a fire sale. Like, they got rid of Yelich, they got rid of Stanton, they got rid of a couple other guys. What's the kid's name that went to St. Louis? I don't even know if he's there anymore. He was a really good outfielder too. I cannot think of the guy's name off the top of my head. Osuna, yes. So they so I don't really know what his qualifications are. I don't know if I would start him at the GM, maybe assistant GM,
something in the front office, but I don't think he'll ever work with Cashman.
The wings, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I'd feel about it. I'd be indifferent about it just because he can't be worse than Cashman.
Here's one of the things that I thought of. If I'm Hal Steinbrenner, I'm somebody who kind of wants. It's obvious this guy takes the backseat, right? It's obvious he's not running the whole ship. It's as clear as day.
Yeah, he funds it. That's what he.
Yeah. He's
like a silent partner almost, is what he is.
It is. That's what it seems like. Yeah, because he has no interest in going to that clubhouse saying, "Guys, what are we doing?"
No.
They would probably be like, "What the hell is he doing here?"
Yeah, exactly.
Georgia was like, "Oh, we know we're playing." All right.
Yeah, Georgia will get a locker room.
He's gonna chew us out. We know. We know what we're in trouble. We know what's going to happen because he actually cares. Yep. I love his quote. I broke a couple of TVs in my life. I love that.
Yep.
I love it. That's great. But if I'm Steinbrenner and I'm sitting back, here's the way I think it is. I got a lot of fans who bust my balls about I'm not like my dad. I'm not like my father.
Yep.
Well, Derek Jeter comes with the motto of we don't play that. We get to the ALCS and lose is okay. We want to win.
True.
Our only goal is to win.
Yep.
You can't question me wanting to win ever again if I brought Derek Jeter in.
That's true.
So that's the first thing I thought about. I was like, you know what? On the PR standpoint, that would be a brilliant move.
Yeah.
And it's like you said before, can he really be much worse than Brian Cashman? Because we don't really know how much Cashman's even running the show. Seems like it's this Mike Fishman guy.
Right.
More than anybody now. So the analytic nerd group is over there, and they're having fun with numbers.
I had some fun with numbers though once in a while, because I've said this before in some of my videos, but I do find it very amusing that ICAF has a higher slugging percentage than Aaron Hicks. Even when he had one home run,
right?
He had one homer and he had a higher slugging percentage than Aaron Hicks. I also found it amusing that Gleyber Torres's on base percentage is less than Aaron Judge's batting average. I thought that was funny too. And these are guys, Pete, that we have hitting cleanup in our lineup. So
exactly.
I don't know where
the biggest insult. The biggest insult was on the other day. I think it was the same game where he made the errors, I believe, Aaron Hickson left. They had him batting third.
Yes. And he struck out twice. He struck out twice.
There looking around saying, guys, hold on. I understand your injuries. You got that. What did this guy show ever that he should be batting third on the New York Yankees?
I don't know. He should be batting 11th on the freaking Toledo Munheads. Okay. He's terrible.
He should be in a beer league somewhere.
I always say
golf course and go have fun.
Pumping gas in Jersey. What should be doing? Like Rocky, man. Means you're training like some bum that should be pumping gas in Jersey.
It's in Jersey. Yeah, not Jersey, Jersey. Gotta be Jersey.
Yeah.
It gotta be Jersey. If it's not Jersey, then forget it.
That's right. Joyce.
He can't do it. But now the Yankees do have a lot of reinforcements on the way, the guys that we're used to. So I want to ask you, who is the guy you think is most important to the Yankees coming back full force, ready to go?
Matt Carpenter.
Matty Carp.
I feel like Matty Carp gives you a good left-handed bat, in the lineup. Again, they moved in the right field. It's not his natural position, but that left-handed bat, I think that'd be so huge. It makes the lineup longer. If you can put him, I would move Rizzo. Rizzo's been struggling. Rizzo's had injuries here at the end of the year. If you could put a guy like Matt Carpenter in between Judge and Stanton and break up the righties with a good lefty power bat, I mean, I don't know if Carpenter's going to do what he did. I don't expect it. But if he can, if the guy was playing above his head, I think. But fans love him. The guy, if he's hitting between Judge and Stanton, the dude's going to see so many fastballs.
Oh, yeah.
I just feel like that bad. I feel like when Carpenter got hurt, it seemed like it took a lot of steam out of the offense,
Yeah, it did.
So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Plus, the guy's got one of the greatest stashes ever.
He does.
I mean, he looks like a W. Mason guy. I mean, it's a perfect
he does.
stash. Like, it makes me want to grow one. I won't. Yeah. Maybe for the playoffs, I'll grow one. I did.
You would have a little. I'll tell you what. You would have a little Rick Rude going on there.
I could.
It's different than me. You actually got the body.
What I'd like to have right now is for all you fat, out of shape, lazy ass Yankees, start to hit the ball before I take my shirt off and embarrass your ass by showing you what a real sexy man looks like. Hit my music.
You just got to grow the curls out. Then
I can't grow my hair anymore.
That's it. He said, can't do that no more. That's it.
No more.
But another guy too that I mean I agree. I think Matt Carpenter meant a ton to the Yankees lineup. Yeah. I think it was like a balloon being deflated.
Yeah.
When he left, it was like, oh man, all the air's out the room.
Yeah,
this guy was so important. And the thing is about Carp that you got to remember too, even in the role of a pinch hitter.
Yep.
Off the bench, you want to put your best defensive outfield out there. You don't go his route. He sits down that day. But a guy that needs to go up there and get you a big hit in a big situation in the playoffs. Yep. I mean, that's like a Ruben Sierra-esque type guy. Ruben was in his prime.
Yes.
Bring him right off the bench, a big lefty bat, and he can make something big happen.
Yep.
So another name too is Luis Severino.
Right.
Severino's coming back. Depending on what type of role he's going to play, I mean, I don't expect him necessarily to be a top 3 starter for them once he gets back, but there's a lot of rumors out there that these injuries with him, Cortez, weren't really more that phantom
Yeah,
IL
CC would
stuff.
have the phantom IL now and again. It's just
Yeah.
like a way to rest the guy.
It's a way to rest them. It's the way to say, you know what, those innings aren't going to be a concern. Then when we get to October,
Yeah.
they could go. They could just let him loose, let him keep throwing, keep the arm in shape, and let him go. And, you know, from what I heard from the rehab assignment he had, he was throwing 100 plus.
Yep.
So it's not like the velo went anywhere. So whether he's coming out the pen, whether he's, you know, could be utilized as a guy maybe 2 innings a game, 2 innings every other game, that they're saying, hey, he could be the guy to put out the fires if we need him.
Yep.
The Yankees do have weapons. Now, I don't care about Chapman coming back. Who gives a crap?
Yeah.
In my opinion. I mean, I really don't care about Chapman coming back. But what do you think about Luis Severino? What role he could play down the line?
I mean, you can never have enough arms. I think that's pretty obvious, especially in the postseason, because that's do or die. So if say you're starting Jameson Taillon in a game and he's getting rocked around, he gives up 3 runs or in the first inning, and he just doesn't have it, you can bring in a guy like Severino where you know you're going to get length out of him, and maybe he can keep him at bay, and it saves your bullpen for the rest of the series. So definitely he could be used in that role coming back, or he could be a starter as well.
Yeah.
But you just can't have enough arms. So getting a healthy Severino back would obviously be huge, because I do think he's an upgrade for Jameson Taillon. And, you know, Frankie Montas hasn't been good here. Let's be honest. Let's call it what it is. It wasn't his fault the other night that Aaron Hicks can't catch a ball and then stares at it like, dude, which way did he go, George?
Oh, I couldn't believe it.
Dude, what am I doing?
The whole time, if you, I don't know if you ever saw my reaction. I got it on Instagram.
I watched it.
He hit the ball, he dropped, and the first thing I'm thinking is, well, pick the ball up.
Yeah. You're like, is it foul?
Doing?
Is it foul?
But how is a player that has any brains, how do you not think, well, even if it is foul, let me make sure I pick the ball up and get it back in?
Yeah, it's
What if it's called fair?
We have a very low IQ. Gleyber Torres,
low
no
brains
IQ.
whatsoever.
Aaron
my
Hicks,
God.
low IQ. Their IQ, the only thing lower than their IQ is their batting average. It's ridiculous. These guys suck, man. They're terrible field. Like,
That's
it's
terrible.
Just, you know, it's funny. It's just, you mentioned the boring team. Like when Hicks comes up as an automatic, you have no faith in that guy at all.
None.
Even when he succeeds, Pete. Even when he succeeds, he does something wrong. Like the other night, you know, he hit a double. If he would have just stayed at first, Judge hits. But you can't tell Hicks to stay at first. He's a winning run. But of course, he goes to second. Well, bye, Judge. Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
And then Glabass strikes out with the bases loaded, and I can't have self-contact a second. You son of a bitch. Even when he does something good, it's wrong. You know, so
it's amazing that
it's
amazing that the
bad.
Yankees can be doing good, and Aaron Hicks of all people got to get us hot.
He was like Chuck Knobloch. Ball's rolling down the line. Yep, down here.
Yeah, he's looking at the
what
ball.
What the hell are you doing? Pick
I'm
the
sitting
ball
there
up and
saying,
out you.
what are your shoelaces untied? What are you looking at down there?
His socks were untied. He don't know what the hell he's doing. You know, if it wasn't for Aaron Hicks, good thing he makes all that money, Pete, because I swear to God, he's got to pay someone to Velcro his shoes in the morning. I don't know what the. He's got such a low IQ. It's ridiculous.
He's looking down at those shoes. What he really is looking down at his batting average is all the way down there somewhere.
Yeah, it's down there.
But it's funny because somebody was asking me, they said, Pete, do you think the Yankees can use next year with the shift being banned in a sense where you kind of got to play your position?
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to be an excuse for the Yankees to continue running Hicks out there? I said, look, what is the difference going to make? What is his average going to be? 5 points higher?
Right.
How many more hits did he get to right field?
Right.
I mean, are you shitting me? What's the difference going to be?
Let me tell you something. When the bases are loaded and you strike out, don't matter where the hell the infielder is playing.
No matter at all. And I'm laughing too because I got to go back to this. And where is this guy's brain at to go on a podcast that he knows every Yankee fan is going to hear and say, you can call me Mr. 30-30. I'm going for 30-30 this year. If I'm CC Sabathia, I would say, hey, why don't you look to stay on the field for 30 games first? Why don't you do that instead of talking about 30 homers and 30? These are elite players that do that.
Maybe that was his thing. 30 games, 30 hits. Maybe that was his goal.
It could be that.
Because,
maybe in reality he did his goal.
Barry Bonds is a 30-30 guy. Bobby Bonds is a 30. You know, A-Rod. Right. Those were your elite guys that were making Vladimir Guerrero, Alfonso. Hall of Famers are 30-30 guys.
Correct.
You know, what the hell are you talking? The guy's never hit more than 28 homers in a year or 27. And after 27, his next highest was 15. You've never come close. You've stolen 55 bases in your entire career coming into this year. What the hell are you thinking?
And the Yankees themselves noticed how bad he were in center field. They had to put 6'7" Aaron Judge out there to be like, hey, you
Horrible.
can move the left, or we got to sit you down for a while because you're not anywhere what we expected
He
anymore.
he stinks.
So Harrison Bader, do us all a favor. Get on the damn field. Get in center field, please. Because I think when Bader's back, I don't think you may ever see Hicks again.
Ugh.
And again, Aaron Boone got a way of upsetting us pretty quickly.
Yeah, like I said, man, when I'm driving down to MetLife for a Giants game and I'm leaving, I got to fill up my tank. I go there and I say, hey, ain't you Aaron Hicks? Because in New Jersey, I think it's a law that they have to pump your gas.
I almost got in trouble for that, by the way.
Yeah.
Because
So,
I'm coming
you
home.
used to play for the Yankees.
Yeah,
And he could say, well, I used to be a Yankee. I don't know how much playing I actually did when I was.
I mean, I'm known for, I made a comment 30-30. I did. People didn't understand it. 30 games, 30 hits. I did.
That's right. That's right.
Well, I'll apologize for that one. Then you're right. You got that done.
Right.
But no, I was coming home from Jersey one time after our event in New York, and I don't know. I think I was like, when you get a little hangry. I was hangry. I was.
Oh, yeah.
really hungry.
I
didn't
know.
eat all morning. We left the hotel quick. We got stuck in traffic. We were like, well, let's stop at this place. Couldn't find a place. We're still driving. I said, man, I'm starving. My God. So I get out to pump gas, and the guy walks up to me, and I goes, leave me alone. The guy's looking at me like, I'm like, no, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Right.
I'll do it. Leave me alone. So the guy just let me do it, and then I called up two of our teammates, and they're like, yeah, in Jersey, it's like a law that they have to.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
a
he
law.
let me do it. Okay, well, he's like, hey, there you go, Pete, breaking the law, right?
I didn't know that. We were driving back from the National Baseball Card Convention show in Baltimore when we go through Jersey. And yeah, I remember we were getting off the exit there. I remember the guy not getting out there. I go, what are you doing? And, because the guy's, he goes, can't pump gas here. I go, what do you mean? He goes, they have to pump it. It's New Jersey law. I'm like, really? Because I don't go to New Jersey very often. So
yeah, nobody does.
Yeah, well, that's true. Good point. Jersey.
Now, Jersey, they go, sir.
Yeah,
they
right.
can go to
right,
Jersey.
That's right.
Jersey, nobody goes there.
Yeah.
Jersey, good for you, Jersey. We like Jersey.
Jersey.
Here. We like good old Jersey. So, of course, with the Yankees, I think you already answered the question that you believe they're going to win the East. I believe they're going to win the East. Now, has your confidence grown at all about the possibility of this team potentially getting past teams like the Astros, like the better teams to get back to the World Series?
No.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
If we play Minnesota, I hope we do.
Yeah, that's the team that's supposed
Feel
to
good.
Sign me up for that one.
If we have to play Tampa in the ALDS, scares me. Toronto scares me.
Yeah.
Houston, no. Until the Yankees prove they can beat Houston, no confidence. They got to go out and prove it. Houston has our number. They have great pitching. They hit. They've won World Series. People can talk about the trash cans and the buzzers, man. The Yankees weren't good enough. That's the way I look. I'm not making
that's true. That's 100% true. You're not like Brian Cashman who said we won in 2017.
Yeah, that's BS. You scored
Kidding
one
me?
run in 4 games in Houston. What the hell's the garbage cans have to do with you guys not hitting?
Yeah, that's right.
So in Altuve, you could have hooked him up to the electric chair. Chapman threw a hanging slider,
It was right
90
there.
miles an hour, belt high.
I mean,
Altuve
let's
can
be
hit,
honest.
buzzer or not.
Exactly, and this is a professional hitter. You throw a pitch like that to most guys in Major League Baseball, and they're going at it. They're going to smack that ball somewhere.
So I'm not using that as an excuse, but
Me either. I agree.
I would like to be able to beat them, but they're a damn good team. So
They're a good team. They are.
I would
They're a
love
very
to
good
face
team.
them again. To be the man, you got to beat the man, right?
Yep.
Prove it. Just go out there and find a way to win.
Yeah.
It just sucks. They got good pitchers, and our guys are not really good contact hitters, which always pisses me off when people say batting average doesn't matter. I don't understand how it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Putting the ball in play matters.
The funny thing is this season, you're seeing how much it actually does matter.
Matters.
When people were looking at the line, go, man, everybody besides the Judge is batting like above
250.
250? Like, what the
You got
world?
a couple guys
Nobody...
in the 260s, IKF,
Right.
DJ LeMahieu,
Right.
and everybody else is
See,
218, 197.
IKF is where he's one of those guys where I'm like, you know what? Now I want to look at analytics. You want to know why? Because that would then tell you that, hey, his average is cute, but he's not really productive.
Right.
And that's when analytics does work.
Right.
But when you sit there and try to make the excuse that a guy's hitting 195 and his on-base percentage is pretty decent because he walks, and even like Joey Gallo this year, there was no analytic number that said he was good.
Right.
So the Texas numbers, you had an argument. But people are arguing about what he did with the Yankees because there's like one number that looks decent. Oh, he was not lucky. Not lucky?
I know.
The guy's not even putting the ball in play.
I know. He's
What are we
striking out half
talking
the
about?
time. How the hell is he not lucky?
So that's what I tell people all the time. Like, I like analytics, and it does tell a story. But batting average does tell a story, too. You can't just discredit it.
Yep.
Because, well, there's other numbers that are more important. Yeah, potentially based off the player, it could be.
Right. Based off the situation. Listen, man,
Exactly,
if you have first and second with 2 outs and, you draw a walk, good for you, but you didn't drive the run in. So
That's
how,
right.
and then the next guy comes up and doesn't get a hit with men on base. And what did the walk mean? It meant nothing at that point. You didn't score. Now, leading off an inning with a walk, it matters. So, again, everything about baseball, the statistics, the analytics, it's all situational. From day to day, it's situational.
That's right.
From count to count, it's situational. It's why the Yankees piss me off. You have to take a different approach when it's 3-1 as opposed to when it's 1-2. You do not swing from your shoe tops on 1-2 when the pitcher is.
And they drive us crazy with that, don't they?
Don't do that. Glaber
he's the best at
Torres
that.
Doesn't ever change his approach. Cut that into swing, put the ball in play.
Yep.
Stop trying to hit the ball out of the park on 1-2.
Yep.
That type of thing takes.
Even with men on base, I mean, somebody will walk in front of him. They'd be completely wild.
Yeah.
He goes up, that first pitch pops up.
Yeah.
Like, where is the baseball IQ? And my thing is, at some point, as the manager of the club, you got to take the bat out of their hands in that situation. Goes, look, give him the call. Do not swing.
Yep.
It's like you got to be playing a video game here. Give him the take sign.
Yep. I agree.
Like, hey, if I can't trust you all to do that, and like you mentioned batting average, you're right. Think about it. Bases loaded. You rather a Joey Gallo up or a guy that makes contact and gets a hit 30+% of the time?
Yep.
I want the guy that makes contact up because something can happen.
I'll take a 2-run single. There's nothing wrong with a 2-run single.
All
as
day.
opposed to a grand. Yeah. So bases loaded. You're down by 1 run in the 9th inning. What's more important there? A grand slam, which is harder to do, or a 2-run single to win the game?
Yeah.
I'd rather have the guy that has a better opportunity. You have a better percentage of hitting a 2-run single than a grand slam.
Of course.
It's hard to hit home runs.
And then you even got the other little things, right? You put the ball in play.
Right.
What if the guy bobbles a double play ball? Maybe he throws the ball away at first. You got so much that can happen when you just put the ball in play. And the Yankees
pressure on the defense.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the thing that has frustrated me the most about the Yankees' overall offense this year was they had this whole motto with Dylan Lawson, who did this in the minor leagues and he came to the majors. Hit strikes hard. The Yankees take strikes hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen a team take more pitches right down the pipe.
Right down the cock, as you would say.
Right down the cock. I've never seen anything like
this. And then they swing that slider into the other batter's box.
Yeah, exactly. Or to pop up a pitch high and outside.
Yeah.
To swing a ball forward. I'm like, what's going on with the philosophy? Because earlier in the year, it's like they were playing such a better style of baseball.
They were. It's why they were winning all those games.
Remember all the
hitting
runs?
homers, but they were fundamentally sound.
Yes, hit and runs were happening.
Yeah, bunting,
guys going
sack
first,
flies.
bunting. Yes, exactly. And I remember watching it going, you know what? There's some. I give a lot of credit to the Yankees coaching staff because
I was saying
it's
the same
obvious that
thing.
we look different.
Yep.
And then we've just reverted back to the same shit.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, we're back to boring trash baseball.
When I did my 24-hour stream, man, and those are hard. 9 o'clock in the morning, I started that thing. Yankees played at 1. It sucked the life out of the stream. It made me tired.
Yep,
and when the game was over, I
flew
flew through the rest of the stream. I'm like, I've got my energy back, but they literally sucked the life out of you. Some of those games are so hard to watch.
I joke about it all. I joke about it, but in a sense, I'm not even joking. I'm like, I say it all the time. I said, this is the first year I've actually done this with almost every single game.
Yeah.
And I said, man, there has been some of the worst baseball that I've watched this year.
It's rough.
Some of the most dreadful games. You are obviously, as I am myself, we obviously adapt to what baseball is doing, but we're old school. We're old school in the term of watching baseball, liking baseball, how it's played. What do you think about these rule changes coming up?
The pitch clock I hate.
Really? See, I love the pitch clock.
See, the reason I hate it is this, man. Baseball don't have a time limit. That's what makes it different than every other game.
Yeah.
It's a long game.
Yep.
I understand Major League Baseball is trying to get fans, youth involved. I get it. Listen, today's youth has a lot of things we didn't have. We didn't have iPhones when we were growing up. We didn't have games at the tip of our hand, tablets, internet. We didn't have any of this stuff in 1989. Yeah. So our attention span was better. And I'm not saying that to be insulting, but you have a phone.
No, you're right. 100%.
You know,
right.
I got this. Oh, look at this popped up. This popped up. So a lot of times you don't even finish it. Oh, this looks interesting. You're just going from one thing to the next. So I understand baseball is trying to pick up the pace, but that's not what it's meant for. I hate the ghost man on second.
Hate that.
I can't stand that either. Get rid of that. You want to change the rule? Get rid of that.
I believe that is going away next year.
I hate that. As far as the shift goes, listen, I understand it'll make the game more exciting because you're going to see more hits, and that is desperately needed.
Yeah.
But to me, Pete, if it's not against rules, that should not be against rules. You're a major league hitter. Freaking hit the ball the other way.
I agree.
You're a professional hitter. Hit against the shift.
Yeah.
Okay. And they will not shift on you.
Yeah.
Stop trying to pull everything out of the park. And the problem is analytics, home runs, you get paid on home runs.
Yep.
So whatever. I mean, stop trying to hit home runs, hit the ball against the damn shift. And they don't shift on Aaron Judge.
Right. Well, he's batting 3-something. He can get the ball anywhere. That's right.
That's right. So that's just the way I look at it. I don't, again, the pitch clock is more because to me, I don't care how long the game takes.
Right.
I'm a Yankee fan. We're used to those games taking 3.5, 4 hours.
Yeah. No, definitely. No doubt about it. It's funny for me because I hated the pitch clock. I said it's so stupid. I don't like it. Then I started going to minor league games where they have it implemented already. And I said, they got this stupid clock here. I said, all right, let me just sit back and watch it. And it really doesn't interfere with the game that much. Like, you kind of forget about it.
Right.
I've never seen it where somebody missed it. Like, there's a ball. I've never seen that. What I like about it is, I've always been this way. I cannot stand a pitcher like Jamison Tyone, Jordan Montgomery that take 30+ seconds in between a pitch.
Yeah, some guys are.
To me, I'm just like, what's the point of this?
Right.
I know Al Leiter back in the day when he was on Yes, and he would always talk about rhythm for a pitcher.
Yep.
And even if he'll take his time and take a while, he used to always say, you want to have a rhythm to kind of get the ball and go, get the ball and go, get the ball and go. And if you notice when young minor leagues get called up now, they're just naturally get the ball go, get the ball go, get the ball go. And I don't personally see it, for me being a baseball fan, as they're going to make the game shorter doing this, even though it has made games shorter.
Right.
What I see it as, I just feel like the pitcher should get the ball and go.
Yep.
It shouldn't take you. I could go make a cup of coffee when Monty was pitching.
I know.
I used to say, guys,
go make
I'm
a
gonna
sandwich.
go out the room. I used to sit here, no joke, bad. He'll get the ball back, and I'll go like this: 1, 2, 3. I would count to 45 seconds sometimes. Why?
Yeah.
Why? And then with the shift, here's my thing with the shift, and you tell me if you may disagree with me. The only thing about the shift I don't like, and I agree with you, is that when I originally was thinking about it, I said, you know what? But it's strategy, isn't it? If you could beat the shift, it's obvious. Players beat it now. There's some guys who choose to beat the shift.
Yep.
When I'm thinking about it, though, and I think about some of the things the Yankees have done this year, when Gleyber Torres plays right field, why?
Yep.
That's my thing is, you want to shift all you want, but you shouldn't be able to move your whole position.
Yep.
Why should a second baseman be able to go play shortstop?
No, I agree. I agree.
Because I can't say, hey, you know what? Aaron Judge isn't up this inning, but I'm going to just have him bat third.
Yeah, that I agree with. Like, you can't, when you have 3 guys on the right side of the infield, it makes sense to not play the third baseman at second and leave the shortstop over there. Like, that's usually what happens. They put the third baseman over there and play second base.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I
that's
get it.
That's my only thing where I'm like, well, how about you just put the second baseman further back towards the grass? Like right on the foot of the grass, so he's playing pretty deep. Yep. If you want to do that, move the first baseman a little over, and you could kind of protect those sides a little more. But I just hate the idea of Josh Donaldson is hitting the right side. Well, okay, who threw the ball over it? Was that Donaldson? Was that IKF?
Yeah.
Was that Gleyber? Who the hell was it?
Yep.
So that's my only knock on it.
I won't have a problem with him taking it away. It's not like I'm like dead set against it. You know what I mean? That's not going to bother me. I can say this. When I
Aaron
see
Hicks about 250 with it.
What's that?
Aaron Hicks about 250 with it.
I was going to say, when I see a guy hit the ball, this is the thing. I'm so old, right? When a guy hits the ball back past the pitcher, I'm like, yes!
Me too.
It's going to the center field and it's right into the shortstop's glove.
I hate it.
The
worst is when there's men on base.
Right. Next year, if there's a line drive up the middle, I know it's a hit.
I mean, let's be real, though. A base hit's a base hit. You can't take away a line drive up the middle.
I know. I agree.
I mean, that pisses me off.
I agree.
Man.
I do. Because it's just my reaction. Yes. Oh, my God. That guy's right there.
You know, and the thing is too, like in situations like that, sometimes it's a ninth inning. Oh, who was it the other day? Somebody did it the other day on the Yankees. I think it was late in the IKF. I think did it. The guy was throwing 100 something.
Yes.
He hit a ground ball dead up the middle.
Yeah.
And the guy's right there. And I'm saying, oh my God.
Yeah.
I said once it got by the pitcher was a base hit. Nope. The
Yep.
shift
That's
said nah.
what I'm saying. So that'll be nice.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Hicks is going to get another 7-year deal out of that, you know.
I mean, they might restructure his contract
They
this
might
year.
give him an extension.
Alone. So forget about Jersey for him.
Yeah, no
Jersey's
Jersey.
gone for him. He's going to stay in New York. But no, just another quick little outlook going forward. I know it's early. The Yankees aren't out of anything yet. They're still got some ball games to play. When you look at the Yankees going forward next year, and you kind of see where they have now, you see these Cabreras, see these Perazzas, you see Anthony Volpe killing the ball in AAA. I mean, the kid's ready. He's ready. I don't want to hear this. He needs reps in AAA. No, he doesn't.
Bring him up.
Bring the kid up. So next year, I've talked about this a lot, and I want to get your opinion of it. They got a crowded infield. What do they do?
That's a good question.
Is there movement? Could the Yankees potentially move a Donaldson?
Oh, I think they could. I mean, you got to get rid of Donaldson anyway. Donaldson sucks. What a horrible deal. We can't sign Correa. He's too much money, but we'll pick up $50 million for Josh.
Can you imagine this nutcase?
This is so stupid.
And the worst thing is Randy Levine even saying, "Yeah, Cashman never asked us about these guys."
Yeah,
but so wait. So who approved Josh Donaldson?
Yeah,
because I know if that was me, I would have said, "Wait a second. You got Correa and these other. What are you doing? Why do you want to pick him up at $50 million?
Yeah,
why?
Doesn't make sense. I don't know. I mean, the Yankees could move Donaldson and eat some of his contract. It's definitely possible.
No doubt about it.
But he's got to be out of there. IKF, he's got to be out of there too. I mean,
whether he's a utility guy or not, but you know, my whole thing is, and I believe, you know, we think alike on this. I think you'll agree with me. Is again, I go back to saying this. I've been saying this all year long. If you want to promise us this great crop of young talent, play them.
Yeah.
And if they fail, you know what? You went with a plan that I think all the fan base agrees with.
Right. What's the point of drafting guys if you're not going to use them?
Correct. And here's the thing, Bad. This is why last offseason, I still say, was extremely important. I think the biggest name the Yankees missed out on, 2 guys, years ago, was Manny Machado or Bryce Harper.
Yeah. Oh,
Manny Machado.
Bryce Harper so bad.
And I loved both of them. But Manny Machado right now was already a third baseman. Now, next year, you could say you got Peraza at short and you could put Volpe at second, however you want to do it.
Yep.
But now you got an infield for years and years to come.
Yeah.
Figure out first base, whatever that's going to look like.
Yeah, Gleyber's going to be going too.
Right. Oh, Gleyber got to go. Gleyber's going to be traded. No, I think there's no doubt in my mind Gleyber's traded. I think the Yankees are fed up and done with this guy.
I do too.
Tyro Estrada. Look at the year he's having. They gave him away for pennies for nothing. For a couple of marbles. They said, no problem, take them. So when you look at that as a whole, they also missed out on a guy like Carlos Correa who could have said, hey, Carlos, you know, come over here short. You got the opportunity again this year to bring him in if they wanted to.
Yep.
But you could play. He's going to get less money also because he's not having the greatest year. He's having a good year, but not a phenomenal season. You could also put him at short or at third base now and then have those young guys come in. But here's what I want for the Yankees just to do. If you're promising us how good these guys are, we're not discrediting it. Most of us are saying get them in there. When the season starts next year, I don't want to hear about service time. I don't want to hear that Volpe needs more time. I don't want to hear it. Yeah. I want the guys you promised us to be playing opening day 2023. I want them in the field. That's it. I want them on the roster. That's it.
Yep, I agree. Like you said, what the hell's the point of drafting these guys? How high are they going to get killing the ball in AAA and just you're leaving them down there for what?
Yeah,
what else do you want them to do?
And everybody knows Double A is the tougher league.
It is.
Because there's an overall greater level of talent.
Yeah, AAA is usually guys that fizzle out at that level.
Okay,
or guys rehabbing.
Yeah, exactly. Guys back up and down.
It's usually washed up major leaguers that are just hanging on there.
Right.
So Double A usually is where the talent is. But I'm with you. Then I'll tell you, man, there's a name out there that's someone opted out of his contract, the shortstop. I heard Correa. I've heard a few names that are opting out.
Yeah.
Tell you the guy that I love at shortstop, man, Xander Bogaerts.
That'd be terrific.
I love Xander
That'd be
Bogaerts.
terrific.
He's
a gamer too. He's a
guy
ball
with
player.
Gold Glove shortstop,
Yep.
320
A real
hitter,
Gold Glove shortstop, by the way.
power. He's got some power. Not somebody. The guy's a career 300 hitter.
Yeah.
And he's a former. Bring that Red Sox in here.
Yeah.
Bring him in here. We take all these former Red Sox. Let's get that guy in.
I'd be more than happy with that.
Take the infield and build it around Xander Bogaerts.
Yeah, and that's see what you just said. Thank you. That is an obvious baseball move.
Right.
You don't necessarily have to say. And this is what I talked about. I spoke to Anthony Volpe's father about this because he saw me. We've talked a lot of times before this, but I made a video saying that the Yankees are putting a ton of pressure on this kid. And he came back and was like, well, he handles pressure well. He's done this. He's done that. And I responded. I said, hey, look, you're understanding me wrong. What the pressure is, it's not on him necessarily. Yep. But it's the fans' expectation of what he needs to be is the problem.
Yeah.
And David Cohn said it too. I don't know if he heard my video and said it, but he said
the same. They watch, man.
He said the same exact thing. He said flat out, what the Yankees have done here is basically saying, this kid needs to be an automatic elite ball player.
Yep.
Because that's what we passed up on this. Because you could have built that infield around a Correa, around a Bogaerts, around one of these other shortstops. Corey Seager, who's having a phenomenal season.
Yep.
So you could have done that, but they've opted against it. And, what are you going to say next year if they keep Donaldson? Okay, well, they're going to build it around Josh Donaldson?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Or IKF is going to continue to play shortstop. Well, we'll call him up when we feel he's ready.
Right.
All right, same shit again, I guess. No big deal.
Yeah.
Same Yankees. So nothing has changed.
Yep.
But, well, Bad, I'll wrap it up with that. Yeah, I mean, congratulations again on the 100K.
Thank you, sir.
If anybody doesn't know, go make sure you go subscribe to this guy. Let's keep Baddog going to well over 100,000, and we'll be there. We'll celebrate it together.
Yeah, man. That freaking sounds awesome. We got to do a game together soon, too.
Yes, definitely do a game together. We'll do a few things together. I think the next, especially next year too, with kind
Absolutely.
of NyynewsTV, we're kind of settled in now. I know how to do all this stuff, so I think we'll have a lot more stuff going on over the next year or so.
Yep, sounds awesome.
All right, my friend.
I appreciate you having me on, bro. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Of course it is.
Yankee fans, let's go Yankees, baby.
Let's go Yankees. Let's go Yankees all day. Playoffs coming up.
Sucks. Tore ass, Hicks,
Glaber his ass, Booty Cakes. The Booty Cakes Brigade.
Booty Cakes Brigade.
That's what it is right there. All right, Bad. Until next time, man.
Later.